Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're working on our Endurance K race car. For those of you that need a quick recap, this little wagon-R Suzuki K car here in Japan cost me $400 from the auctions. It had no mention of a blown engine. Turned out the engine was blown. We got a little scam there, but luckily the engines were super cheap. We had it. It arrived in a little small box from Yahoo Auctions for only about $100. We switched the engine and then we bolted on a Temu supercharger. The Temu supercharger blew up because it was a fake replica copy item, and then we ended up finding out that those superchargers were copies of Subaru Pleo K cars here in Japan, and they were $30 on Yahoo Auctions. So we got a genuine supercharger on this. The biggest issue is though, you can kind of see it in there. The biggest problem though is, let me see if I can show this to you. Are we in neutral, Daiki? Can you put your foot on the clutch? This thing sounds a little ridiculous. It sounds like a cat. Now that's not necessarily a problem. In fact, I kind of enjoy it, and there's a little bit of a viral reel on my Instagram where everyone is just trying to figure out why the car sounds like that. And it's kind of funny, but it's actually to do with where the throttle body is. Now, superchargers, I'm new to them, especially Roots ones, and I've been doing a ton of research on how Subaru kind of plumbed it up and why they plumbed it up. And I found a bunch of the old piping that came with it, and it actually turns out you're supposed to have the throttle body in front of this type of supercharger, which should help with my idling issues and a bunch of other stuff. We put the link ECU on here, and I need to wire in some kind of idle control, but we have a ton of new parts that we need to bolt onto this, so we need to pull the whole front end off, and I need to just show you what we got. I also forgot to tell you, the entire car is officially stripped out. There is not a single thing left in here. Actually, there's a few things of plastic that we still need to rip out, but as you can see, everything is stripped out interior-wise. This seat will get replaced with a Bride bucket. There will be no passenger seat. We're gonna put some plastic core fluid or ABS plastic over this dash and cut all these little things off so it's not sketchy and too dangerous. But this is it. There's so much room for activities in here, but we also need to put a single roll bar in here so we're safe. But yeah, this is what the inside of my little Endurance Race K car is gonna look like. This shifter is kind of hilarious, just how long it is, and I love it. But this is everything that arrived. Pretty much everything I ordered for this car has come from AliExpress, Alibaba, or Temu, and there's a reason for that, and let me show you why. Before I continue with the wagon-R, I have to tell you about today's video sponsor, which is Dafsky. Dafsky is an online store that sells air fresheners and accessories for your car, and as you can see what I have here, this is just a small amount of what air fresheners they have available. I've always said that air fresheners are the cheapest and easiest mod that you can do the moment you get your car to put your kind of little bit of style and personality on it. Get a character or a scent or anything that you think suits you, put it in your car, and you've instantly changed that environment inside the car, which feels awesome. It's always those small little things that we change that make the biggest difference, at least I feel in my experience. So go to Dafsky's website and go grab yourself some air fresheners. There's a fair few collab ones with me as well in the Sakura scent from here in Japan. Don't sleep on it. They got a ton of other accessories, and let's get back to the video. Couplers, some hose bands. I got this. This thing kind of looks like a grenade, but it's actually a idle control valve, a super simple one from like a Volvo or Volkswagen, I believe. And this is just a 2-wire solenoid. That way it's super easy to command with the ECU and easy to look after idle control. This thing here is something I'm not sure if we're going to use, but this is actually off a BMW Mini, the supercharged ones, and this is kind of like a bypass valve. Whenever it detects the engine's on vacuum and doesn't need extra boost or anything from the supercharger, it'll bypass it. I'm not sure if we'll use that. It's kind of up in the air right now, depending on how things work with moving the throttle body. But this is what I'm most excited about, because this is gonna help us make more power and stay extra cool. But it also means we have to refabricate everything. I found the cheapest, crappiest mini intercooler for this. That's gonna be going in the front. It's so freaking cute. I tried to find like a stock OEM Nissan one or something, but they just weren't gonna work. This is adorable. It's like bar and chain too, I love that. Anyways, we're gonna be putting this in the front. We're gonna be welding on some elbows and stuff and making this work. This should do really, really well. It's actually gonna be pretty awesome. And this will help keep our temperatures, air intake temperatures really nice and cool, and help this motor last, because there's a good chance we're gonna pop this thing on the first event. I'm hopeful we don't though, and we just keep things extra safe. I still am thinking about adding a meth what do you call it, like the little alcohol injection kit. The most important thing to remember with this entire project is we are trying to have as much fun as possible with this car. We're spending as little money as possible. And that's why we decided to go the route that we have. And once again, I don't really know much. Oh, I already bent the fins on my intercooler with my hand. Just squeezed it too hard. My bad. We'll flip it and use it this side. But yeah, just remember, I'm still new to superchargers and I need your help. If you have any more advice or anything, let me know in the comment section. I really appreciate it. I've learned so much already about root superchargers, but more than ever, I really need your help to let the YouTube algorithm know that you love this content. So smash that like button, write us a comment and subscribe. Let's get that golden plaque, baby. And let's get straight into this thing and rip this front end off so we can figure all this out. All right, front end's off. Ooh, look at that bad boy. Chooching down here. Still cracks me up how much we notched out of the frame to clear all this. I love it. All of this is coming off. Also, I need to cut the cat off for extra flow because this is a race car. So I'm gonna have to make a whole new exhaust for this thing. But most importantly, how you doing? You look angry. Why are you angry? Tell the people.
Can't link a circle.
It's fine. You just need to do a little and then stop and come back tomorrow.
I don't need, it's fine. I just need to do it.
So she's been trying to practice on the sim and, you know, learn counter steering and do big donuts.
I think I'll just ask Nishiyama Sensei.
Long story short, May's really frustrated. I told her she needed to take a break and do it tomorrow, but she kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it and got even more frustrated. You're getting better, but you're at the point now where you know everything you need to do. You just need the seat time to get the throttle control lined up with your hand control and you'll be fine. It's just seat time.
I know it's not my throttle.
What is it then? Your hand control?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
It needs to be earlier, I think.
So you just need to practice. It's seat time. No one ever gets good at drifting in 2 days. She's so annoyed.
Now all I can think about is throttle.
I mean, it's a good thing that you're this invested into it, that's for sure. Where we're going, we don't need this, so we're taking this out, more weight reduction. There we go. Nice. More airflow for our tiny little radiator. I love this so much. Doki. You should be able to pull that through.
What the hell's that?
Maybe you have to
take the battery out. That's fine. We're gonna take everything out. We gotta take this all off. We gotta take the exhaust off. We got a lot to take off. We're redoing everything. This started out as a joke, and now we're here. This wasn't supposed to be this serious, but here we are. Now I'm like, all right, we proved it works, and now I want to see it to the end. That's what we're doing, baby. Let's go.
Sam, did I show you this? This is how serious I got on the sim. I have literally my fingers on this side, the nail got onto this end, and I have a little nick from it.
Wait, you stabbed yourself with your nail?
Yes.
Because the wheel moved, like counter steered to you?
Yes.
That's impressive. So you're already, have you cried yet?
I've already cried.
Okay, so blood, sweat, and tears into learning how
already.
Already. I'm proud of you.
I'm kind of understanding why so many people who get into drifting go crazy. I think I'm going crazy. I feel like I want to abandon everything and just focus on this. That's literally my emotion today.
I mean, that does happen.
Am I going crazy?
You're not going crazy. You just found a new hobby that you really like.
I don't know if I like it. It's just getting me frustrated. What do you think, Daiki? Am I going crazy? Look at his face. He's judging me. That's the eyes of judgment. What the hell's that?
It's like temperature sensor. It's like the pressure sensor for the aircon.
This car has so many of these. What do you call this? Pipe?
Yeah, aircon.
Aircon hose. All aircon hoses like this?
Yep.
Okay. This is super annoying. I'm gonna chop it up. With a nipper? Wow.
It's aluminum.
Aluminum.
Super soft.
Sometimes you gotta be rough.
Yep.
Got enough space?
Yeah, we can work with this. It's pretty big. It'll work. We'll make it work.
That's cute. We thought it was cute, but once you put... Oh, I see.
We can just put it in like that now. I think we can work with this. It'll be a bit annoying, but I can work with this. Yeah, most likely I can't use these outlets. I'll have to weld those flat and come in down here and out here. My goal is to try and fit this in between here and here. I knew it was going to be a tight fit, so it's okay. But this is most likely what's going to end up happening is this will be the outlet here, which will come across and go into the intake manifold. This will be the inlet, which will come down on this angle into here, because I can't come from here up because this is where the adjuster is and there's a whole bunch of other stuff here for the engine. It'd be cool if I could snake in between here, but then that would cause more issues with belt changes and stuff.
And
so
that
it's better
length
if this comes out here.
This length isn't enough for it to go up and down?
No, can't really adjust it any more than where it is right now. And also this is actually already kind of going that way, so I can reuse what we already have a little bit there and kind of come up and into it. This blow-off valve probably won't, we may not even need it with the new setup with the throttle body before the supercharger. So the only other thing though is this intake has to get chopped, and then the pipe has to come up here, and the throttle body has to be sitting here, and the air filter and everything has to be up here so that this throttle cable can reach it. So it's like, yeah, I might need a different throttle cable. I might need to get the turbo throttle cable because that's longer, because the throttle body for the turbo ones or the players is over here. So yeah, there's a lot involved in this to make this work now. It's gotten a little out of control to do this properly.
Are you sure you don't want to strip everything out and put an SR in it?
An SR wouldn't fit, and that would definitely be more work. Would it?
Exactly. We've gone mining.
Quite literally, this stuff's worth so much money. It's all full of platinum and rare metals.
Want
But
every
also,
bit of it.
it slows down your car. We want all the extra flow for the supercharger and the exhaust. Obviously, this is never going to be registered again. It's not going to be a street car again, so that's why we're removing this.
Minecraft.
Yep. There's been a big change of plans. I was really hoping we could put this intercooler in this space here, but it's just not gonna work, especially considering we need this, core support center piece here to tie everything together. And I really don't wanna modify and make a custom one of that. So we're gonna end up putting it here in the front. It's gonna stick through the bumper in this section here, the grill. I think it's gonna be awesome. Just trying to work out how to run the piping. Obviously having the intercooler here now means we're gonna have a lot longer piping than I wanted, but it should be okay. It should still work. And I've honestly looked at this and gone, this just turned into what I thought was going to be maybe a one-day job into maybe a 3-day job. I need to order a bunch more piping and silicone couplers and a bunch of other stuff for sure. But it is what it is, and I've honestly even been thinking of just deleting the supercharger and sticking to NA and doing the N8 class. But I'm curious to know what you guys think do we keep running with the supercharger or what? Because I'm at that point now where I'm just like, is it really worth it? I think it's going to be cool. But at the same time, if everything goes wrong and everything explodes and goes boom, then I'm kind of like, ah, man, what was the point? But yeah, because the turbo class, there's guys there that are running like 1.8 bar of boost with a $3,000 to $4,000 transmission to keep the power. That's another thing I'm worried about is like the clutch and the drivetrain in this. But I guess you never know until you try, right? So this is where we're at. I would have to make a special bracket, just like a flat stock that comes across there, ties it into here and into there, so that's supported there rigidly. We would end up running our hot side out of the supercharger, would pretty much come out over and into here, and then from here would come up and a straight shot into the intake manifold, and then from the intake of the supercharger is going to go up here in this gap, and around here will be the throttle body and the pod filter. I would obviously have to make a ton of heat shielding to try and keep any heat from the hot side here and the exhaust and whatnot off from the cold charge pipe, but that should be relatively okay. I think we'll be okay with the pod filter in this area too, as long as we maybe cut another hole in the bonnet there to just help get some colder air forced in there, like another vent or a bigger vent hood scoop to try and push more colder air in there. But otherwise, yeah, I'm kind of at this point now where I'm like, is it really worth it? Because we're definitely going to be going down the rabbit hole of a bunch of fabrication that's going to be a little crazy. Initially, I was like, oh, we'll just run this straight to here and then that to there. But then I was like, no, that makes no sense, because then I'd have to do this crazy like loop thing here and still put a silicone coupler in there so that it would even work. And I was like, it makes more sense that that goes over there across the hot radiator and whatnot. So I don't know. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Yeah, I'm kind of also just annoyed at myself for even attempting this now. But it is what it is. It's what happens when you're trying to mess around with things that aren't meant to be like this from the factory. I could also try and just look at a Subaru Pleo engine. We have the Link ECU, so maybe I should just look at getting a Pleo engine and just drop that in here and see if it'll all line up, but I don't know. What do you reckon, Daiki?
I think that way is more fun.
Subaru Pleo?
Yeah.
Put the Subaru Pleo engine in. Maybe just buy a whole engine with the supercharger on it and just drop that in with all the piping and everything, and then it works. I don't know, but this also looks a lot more funner. I'm definitely feeling a little stupid that I've kind of decided to go full send on that, but also I have a couple days where I'm gonna just chill and think about it and read your comments and see what you guys have to say. I'm kind of in the mind of, we're already kind of halfway there, so we might as well finish it and see what it does, but I'm also just like, man, there's a lot of work to get done, but I think it's also going to be cool and it's different. I'm just curious to know what you guys think. But that aside, I wanted to show you guys this. Last year, I made friends with the guys over at Neotech, and they're from Korea, and they sell brake kits. And this is, I've never had a real big brake kit before, but these are freaking fire. These are their, oh my gosh, they're Evo are brake caliper kits. Also, we've got rotors to obviously go with them in that bottom box, but these are for the comp car, guys. Look how massive they are. It's actually hard for me to hold it. Like, oh my God. I hope that fits. They should fit. They will fit. They will fit. These are freaking awesome, and I don't know if you can see it on camera, but the powder coating is incredible. The flake in there is amazing. Cannot wait to put these on the front of the car. I was looking at putting new brakes on the front of the comp car regardless, because the pistons in this need to be rebuilt on all the calipers. They're a little loose and they slip a bunch, so I have to like keep priming the brake system before I leave the line. And even then they still kind of slip, which is kind of a common issue as the pistons get older and they wear out in the calipers, but specifically on these front calipers, they're definitely pretty bad. So it was a good opportunity for me to switch to a bigger brake kit, and that just kind of all lined up. So I'm really excited to be running that. Also, I think that's the first parts I've ever gotten from Korea, and I'm pretty excited to try them out and just, you know, see how they perform. But I'm already extremely in love with them because they're the right color, they got a ton of flake, and the quality looks incredible. Let me just show you guys the rotors, because the rotors are, of course, massive as well. They come with the adapter kit and everything you need to fit them on the car. Let me show you real quick. It's so cool opening packages and seeing Korean symbols on here. How do I open this? Here we go. Two-piece, of course. I'm so excited. The pistons in these calipers are titanium too, so they're actually lighter than other kits that are this size. But let me see if I can pull this out and just sit it next to the rotor so you guys get a good idea of just how freaking awesome these are. Also, like the top plate that holds the pads in is super cool. It's the N for Neotech. But check this out. Man, I'm hyped. They look so good. Oh, I cannot wait to see them on the front of the comp car. I'd put them on the comp car right away, but unfortunately, we still don't have an engine.